Hey, friends. This is Pastor Jamie Dickson from Kingdom Life Church. Just want to quickly reach out to you all. And a lot of people have been asking, what about Tenacious Love? And what about our prophetic conference? And what about this and that? What are we doing in 2024? And I know it's been somewhat of a mystery. We've been a little busy, but I wanted to reach out and give some clarity on what we are feeling from the Lord about conferences this year and about our approach just to be obedient to the Lord. And so earlier this year, I began to feel from the Lord that that there's a different strategy, um, and we had been lining up a lot of speakers to come and all that, not just for conferences but just period for the year. And I'm going to share a few of those with you now. But as we began to do that, I really felt like the Lord was putting His attention on some other things and on discipleship and small groups and so as we began to pray into it, I actually felt like the wisdom from the Lord was that we weren't to do conferences this year, but that we were actually to create revival like accessible revival like moments where we would conferences. For those who know the value of a conference, we'll pay for a conference, we'll take the time and come. Many of you know the value of that. But we have so many people across all of our campuses and across the state of Maine that are newly coming into revival culture, into the presence of the Lord, and they are not aware of the value of these marked few days of a conference. And I really felt like the Lord began to turn my attention, saying to begin to disciple a new wave of people that will chase my presence and will make a place for my glory. And so we really felt like our focus was actually to turn away for a year, turn away from conferences and turn away to more accessible gatherings. And so we're really excited about that. But the other thing I felt the Lord was saying was that this was a year of really significant national events that we were supposed to be a part of. And so just recently, we put our attention. Lou Engle was just in New England doing the Great Communion Revival, where for a few days, our team was helping sustain worship and prayer, where we went down to take communion and cry out for revival in New England. I spent a night in New Jersey with Lou Engle and the guys at Resting Place House of Prayer. We also were partnered together with Sean Foyt, and we helped pioneer the Boston and Maine Kingdom to Capital tour, which was a significant event. We had over 2,500 people on the Capitol lawns of Maine. We really felt like that was a really important moment, that we weren't supposed to be focusing on conferences, that we needed to rally for these really prophetic moments. Another one coming up is the Esther Fast, or the Esther Rally in Washington, D.C. with Lou Engle. And are hoping to take 100 or more women from Maine down to Washington, D.C. to pray on the Mall, D.C. for an Esther-like movement on women in America. And so anyways, there's these moments that we feel like we're not supposed to focus on our own events, but what God is doing in the nation. So that's a part of it. The other thing is that we're also putting a lot of focus on discipleship right now. And so this past week, 20 women just started a journaling small group going through the book Cultivate, and they're all just knitting deep relationships and going deeper there. We have groups of men rallying around books and studies, and there's just a lot of really cool, smaller level focus. We just added 4 or 5 new life groups across the state of Maine, with more in the pipeline right now, creating more home-like gatherings, and all of this being unto a deeper place of discipleship, so that when we go into these moments with encounters and conferences, that they have a greater impact and a greater weight on the entirety of the body of Christ, not just a small remnant of people that have history and experiences of the power of these conference like moments. And I hope that makes sense. And so we've taken a step back so that we can launch forward. And in 2025, we will have our conferences back. But this year we're hitting pause on them to focus and to be obedient to the Lord, which has been cool. We've had some prophetic dreams where we literally were changing our conferences to small groups, and it was just confirmation to us. So apologize for the late response, but a couple things to look forward to is at the beginning of September, we're going to have Jeremy Nelson and Tracy Armstrong coming for a weekend. And so stay tuned for that. Jeremy Nelson is going to be with us. We just had Sean Foy on a Sunday morning. Then we did the Kingdom to Capital tour. My friend JJ Waters is going to be here in July, and he's going to be ministering, which is going to be so fun. At the end of April, we're going to have, or not April, I'm sorry, and near the end of September, we're going to have James Levesque and Rita Springer here for a couple nights. That's going to be incredible, so you're not going to want to miss that. I'm also talking right now, I don't have the exact dates for you, but Joaquin Evans from Bethel, Austin, and Bill Vanderbush, our dear friend Bill, are going to be coming for a couple days, and we're going to go after healing. So there's some really cool events coming up, and we're going to have some weekends. They're going to feel like conference like moments, but they're going to be accessible, wide open, no cost. Just offerings, and we're going to trust the Lord. But I really want to encourage you guys to carve out space and make room for those weekends, because they're going to be really dynamic, and they're the ones we feel like the Lord was leading us into. So we just had Woody Woodson not long ago, and we're going to maintain some of those moments. So anyways, I hope this is helpful and maybe answer some of your questions about what's Kingdom Life Church doing in the name of conferences and events. And that's our focus for 2024. And we hope to have you be a part of every one of those moments with us. So love you guys.